Do you want to fight at the White House? I'm sure every fighter wants that, or maybe not. Maybe there's some.
No, I don't give a shit about fighting at the White House. I want to fight in front of big crowds, bro. It's like, how big can the White House even like have of a stadium? That's like, is that shit outside too? It's like,
I'm pretty sure it's only going to be like invited people, so it's not going to be like true MMA fans.
yeah, bro. I don't give a fuck about any of our political figures right now, and it's like to fight in front of them just seems like some Hunger Games type of like, I don't give a fuck to fight in front of a bunch of billionaires and rich people that can give a shit less about me and probably throwing parlays. It's like
UFC fighter Brandon Royval is not interested.
I'm flying out there at the end of this month. We're going to start deciding what he wants and doesn't want, but yeah, it's definitely going to happen.
It's definitely going to happen. That's what UFC President Dana White had to say about a UFC event taking place on the White House lawn on July 4th, 2026. Now, President Trump said last month that he wanted to stage a fight on the White House grounds with upwards of 20,000 fans in attendance as a part of the nation's 250th anniversary celebration. Now, White told CBS this morning that he spoke with President Trump on Monday and he's going to meet with him and his daughter Ivanka at the end of the month to finalize details for the event. The historic fight will be televised on CBS, and its announcement comes on the heels of the UFC agreeing to a groundbreaking 7-year deal with Paramount that pays them an average of $1.1 billion a year.
You guys, I want to fight in front of people that are Raw Dog fans, are fans of MMA, and like, you know, that are like that could relate to me. It's like, I'm not trying to fight these like, you know, all these politicians. So in my opinion, like I don't give a fuck about impressing any politicians. I don't care about the presidents. None of them. I really don't want to go fight in the White House, if I'm being honest.
He'd also touch on this.
We have some new video, not just this angle, that adds additional context to this story, and I want to put it up on the screen right now. In a federal charging document, the Justice Department says that the Border Patrol approached Quiñones from over 100 feet or around 100 feet away. And you're watching this video from the Los Angeles Rapid Response Network right now that shows that exact thing happening. Quiñones, this is the Home Depot, by the way, around the corner from my house. He is in the far end of the Home Depot parking lot, about as far away, not only from the Day Laborer Center, where they were targeting and had arrested 5 undocumented immigrants, but from the Home Depot itself. And you watch them surround and box in Quiñones' vehicle right here. Even if the allegations against Quiñones are true, that he had a gun in the vehicle and he threw what the Border Patrol says is a rock-like object at the Border Patrol agents, it raises very serious questions about the Border Patrol's ability to care for a young child like the daughter of Mr. Quiñones. And I want to read to you a statement that his mother, once he was released yesterday, issued to the public to better understand how his daughter was treated by the agents that you're seeing on the screen right now. Let me read from it. She said, "When I picked up my granddaughter from the federal agents, she had a dirty diaper, a bruise on her face, and was developing a rash. She was exhausted and cried. My heart aches knowing this could happen to others, to my kids, or even me, despite being U.S. citizens. We're now questioning our safety and feel more vulnerable simply for being Latino. I fear for my grandkids growing up in a country that targets Latinos and profiles dark-skinned people. I hope things improve, though it's hard to imagine how it could get worse." Stephen Miller wanted it to be 25,000 using a process called administrative separation. You are watching those same types of agents, Border Patrol agents, basically effectuate family separations in the interior, in this case, a U.S. citizen.
Because he sees the reality of what's going on.
Honestly, I'm too Mexican looking. The ICE is suspiciously arresting. And like, I don't know. Who knows, bro? Next thing you know, I'm in Mexico. I don't even speak Spanish and you know?
You don't? I'm from Spain.
Yeah. No, I don't speak Spanish or anything. So it's like, I'm straight Chicano, so I don't fit in anywhere.
I gotta say, that interview, that answer was surprisingly refreshing. Before we get into it, let's just give the basics here. MMA Knockout has more. This is via Sports Illustrated, the arm of Sports Illustrated. One of the major storylines in the MMA world over the last few months has revolved around a potential UFC card at the White House next summer, conceived as a way to help commemorate the 250th birthday of the country. Both POTUS and UFC CEO Dana White have been vocal about wanting to make the idea a reality. They add, currently the UFC's number 3 ranked flyweight contender is coming off a unanimous decision loss to Joshua Van that took home Fight of the Night honors at UFC 317. and is considered by many fans to be a frontrunner for 2025's Fight of the Year. What strikes me is that you have someone in a sport that is so right-wing. And look, we have seen what the likes of, for example, Henry Cejudo have done, and how he has teamed up with Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump in this like fighters against socialism nonsense where they throw out words. Same with Jorge Masvidal, a staunch Trump supporter who almost did a hostage-like video during the 2020 campaign cycle where he was in American pants. I mean, you could go look it up, video on demand. And they were using words like socialism and communism, and it's clear that they can't define what these words are. And yet, we have seen what Dana White and the Fertittas have done to the UFC. They have mobilized so many of their fans to think a certain way, to act a certain way, to welcome Kid Rock and Tucker Carlson and Kash Patel and Mel Gibson to their events. That is what they have done. And it feels pretty odd for a sport that really billed itself as the outsiders. No one wants us. No one likes us. We will fight those who hold power. And now they're just licking the boot of it. But it is, as I stated previously, refreshing to see at least one detractor in the UFC. And this White House event, I got to say, as a sports fan, the images will, I'm just calling a spade a spade. The images will be cool. But outside of just like seeing a photo or a reposted video, it's not something that you have to watch. And them framing this as, well, it's going to be about 5,000 people in the White House, but 80,000 at the Ellipse. Oh, so where January 6th took place is where you want those who could potentially be in favor of what occurred on J6 and another J6 to hold their little event. I got to say, he knows how to speak to his audience. But inside of an organization that is so heavily in favor of a guy who could very well be on the Epstein list because the DOJ will not release those files, it really is odd how many of those professional athletes will just stump for him. And this is why we also need to applaud those who speak out, because they are really going up against a lot, including the CEO of the company. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.